Yo, what's up, Exiles? Betta here, bringing you an update on my Herald of Agony Guardian. I'm now CR currently, after dropping the life base of the build, which I used as my league starter, and it is currently performing really well, and I've got high hopes. At the moment, the setup is not 100% perfect, but I will be perfecting it very soon. So I've picked up as much reservation efficiency as I can due to Herald of Agony reserving a lot of mana. Of course, it's only 40% now, but I've got the Circle of Nostalgia here with Herald of Agony has increased mana reservation efficiency. On the tree, I've picked up Presage as well for the extra reservation efficiency. Over here by Influence 2, and over here by Sovereignty as well. Got these two, and then of course the Mastery, which gives some more reservation efficiency. Anyways, moving forward, there's nothing too special on the skill tree here. I've just done some basic pathing to get as much energy shield as possible while keeping some minion damage. But of course, I'll be respecking out of this whole side here and getting probably large clusters, I think, or something. I will have to do a little bit more meddling around in the path of building. However, I'm using 2 medium cluster jewels with pure agony on, so we get an extra 10 virulences, which means our Herald of Agony gets even more physical damage, as it gains physical damage per virulence it has. And now it normally has 40 virulence, but now thanks to these 2 clusters, we are onto 50 virulence, giving it even more damage. There's nothing too special here in the skill tree otherwise, just a little bit of damage and stuff. I'm using the golden rule as well here. And yeah, nothing too special in the skill tree, of course. I will be changing up a few things here. And then just want to say, I'm also using small cluster jewels here, which give uncompromising. And the reason why I'm using that is so Determination has increased reservation efficiency. And on this one, we're using self-control. So Discipline has also got some extra mana reservation efficiency. As you can see, we are almost reserving our entire mana pool here. But thanks to them, it enables us to run a 6-link Herald of Agony with a Determination and our Discipline. But we must not forget that we also have Tempest Shield here. So to cover what's different from the last time, as you can see, I've replaced all of the gear. I'm now running a Arakali's Fang Fiend Dagger for the raised spiders on kill. These spiders help the builds clear by an immeasurable amount. And then, of course, we're using the classic Aegis Aurora. And the reason why we're using this is because each time we block, we replenish 2% of our energy. We replenish energy shield equal to 2% of our maximum armor. And when we are all flasked up, you can see here, we have got 47,000, almost 48,000 armor. So that gives us our sustain during mapping and bossing as well. But anyways, moving on. So for our skill gems and our supports, over here I am running a melee splash for the clear, a withering touch for the extra physical as extra chaos damage, and then an unbound ailments for the extra effect and duration of the damaging ailments that the spiders inflict as they deal chaos damage, which helps out a lot. Moving on, I'm running a Spirit Offering just for the extra physical damage as well for our Agony Crawler, and the extra resistances, which doesn't really make a difference. And then I'm using a Convocation just to keep my minions nearby, and then the Tempest Shield, of course, for the extra chance to block spell damage and the immunity to shock buff. And then I'm using a Withering Step, which I will be dropping probably because I don't find it to be all that useful in the build currently. And then I'm just using a Flame Dash for some utility, of course, just to get out of some sticky situations. And then in the gloves, I have Stormbrand and Ball Lightning linked to chance to poison and slower projectiles. This is how I stack up the virulence stacks. So our Agony So our Agony Crawler can deal as much damage as possible. And then of course, over here we have Determination for the armor, and then Desecrate, because without Desecrate we won't be able to spawn our spiders. I'll get more on that just now when I move on to the mapping showcase. And then Discipline, of course, for the extra energy shield here. And then I'm running a Cast When Stunned, linked to Frost Shield, Molten Shell, and Sniper's Mark. The Frost Shield is there for, well, it's here just to mitigate damage, of course, especially on bosses. It helps out a lot, and it takes away a chunk of damage that we would otherwise take. And then the Molten Shell as well is just there for the extra armor when it does proc, of course. And then the Sniper's Mark for the extra damage. I just do want to note though that I am running a Curse on Hit with Despairing, so most of the time Sniper's Mark will not actually be up, but I will be speccing into Whispers of Doom, of course, for the extra curse, so then we can have the Despair and the Sniper's Mark up at the same time. And then moving on to Herald of Agony itself, of course, we have it linked to Vicious Projectiles for the more projectile damage, minion damage for the extra minion damage, of course, damage on full life as it's always on full life. And then I've got Pierce here at the moment for the extra clear during mapping. This will probably be swapped out later on for, I think Vile Toxins would probably be the best bet here. And then of course I'm using an Empower to increase the gem levels, because increasing the gem levels of Herald of Agony allows it to deal a significant amount of damage rather than having it just at level 21, of course. And then moving on to the gear, we have got our Herald of Agony socketed into a Skin of the Lords for the 2-2 level of socketed gems, of course, as that's very important. And then the increased global defenses. Otherwise, then our helmet is Eber's Unification for the Void Gaze. This gives about, I think it's about a 10% more damage multiplier when it does hit enemies, which is really, really cool. And of course, as you can see, it has got a high amount of energy shield on it as well. And then it's just the Aegis of Aurora too, which I already explained for the replenishing energy shield. And then our amulet here is just a +1 to level of all chaos gems with some increased armor, maximum energy shield, and then our allocated Mind Drinker for the increased maximum mana. And for the boots is just Rainbow Strides for the chance to block spell damage. I don't think I'll be replacing these for a different set of boots because they're just that good. And of course it gives the extra elemental resistances. And then our Stygian Vase over here for the extra maximum energy shield and reduced flask charges and a little bit of resistances, which just helps cap out the resistances, as you can see here. And then for the Ghastly Hour Jewel, I've got chance to blind on hit from minions and a chance to hinder on hit with spells, which helps out on map clear and making enemies slower so they don't get to hit us as often, and even if they do, then we recover a significant amount of energy shield anyway, as we are a tanky boy. And then of course we have the Circle of Nostalgia here for the extra Agony Crawler damage and the Reservation efficiency, nothing too special there. Our ring here with the Despair and a little bit of strength and dexterity and some energy shield, of course. And then for the gloves, I'm using a Khaleesi's Grace for the socketed gems are supported by level 18 faster casting. This is just to help out Stormbrand on hitting enemies more often, and the Ball Lightning as well, just to shoot them out pretty quickly. Although I'm using a slower projectiles, which counters this, so it can get more hits on enemies, of course, to stack up those virulence stacks. Anyways, for the flasks, I'm just using a Wrathing Jar because it's our only means of getting our spiders. The normal Quicksilver here, just a Sulfur Flask for the Consecrated Ground for the time being and the extra armor. And then a Basalt Flask for the more armor and the immunity to bleed. and then a Rumi's Concoction, which isn't really necessary at the moment because I am capped out on block chance, well, almost capped out on attack block. But this is just there for when I respec a few points and pick up Arcane Guarding. And yeah, that is that. So let's jump in and have a look at how the build performs in a map. Right, so at the beginning of your map, of course, what you'll want to do is first desecrate a few corpses here. I always put down my Stormbrand first, of course, and then I'll pop my Wrathing Jar, and then as you can see, it kills the 2 worms that come out, and then our spiders are up. And now basically all that you do is you just make sure to keep your Spirit Offering up, and now and then to use your Wrathing Jar, but you need to make sure that they are always corpses, of course. Otherwise, they will not be summoned. But yeah, overall, the build is doing really, really well, and I'm very happy with it. I think that after I make a few adjustments to it, it will perform much better than it does now. See, currently we don't have our spiders, so we just desecrate up a little bit, put our Stormbrands down, and then you pop them, and then they are back again. Pretty simple. There we go, I just tanked the Volatile there. We didn't take too much damage at least. Put our Stormbrands up, get the Virulence stacks going. Pretty cool. See, we don't have them. See, we don't have our spiders anymore. There we go, now they're back again. So basically each time that you don't have your spiders, you just want to make sure that there are corpses around you. And then pop your Wrathing Jar, and then they will pop up immediately. Of course, you can't have them up all the time. Well, you can have them up all the time, but it's not really too much of a hassle when they aren't up, because resummoning them, as you can see, is very easy. See, now they dropped again. Ah, that didn't work. Okay, there we go. Now they're back again. Very nice. Let's just go do the boss here quickly. Of course, the bossing damage isn't too insane. Pop our Spirit Offering there, give them some more extra damage, get as much Virulence stacks up, and there we go, the boss is down. Okay, let's just finish up on the map here. I won't be engaging on the League mechanic because I'm busy stacking them up so I can get as much currency as possible, so I can start working on improving the build and basically min-maxing it while trying to keep it within a reasonable budget, of course, because I don't want to portray a build that's like 30 exalts or something insane. I want to keep the build within about a 10 exalt budget maximum, I'd say. Let's get our spiders back. There we go, spiders are back. Pop a Spirit Offering again. But yeah, all in all, from League starting this build, I've been very happy with the way that it performs. Except for sometimes I have been rather frustrated because trying to keep the spiders up can be a bit of a hassle. However, once you do get used to it, then it's not too much of a problem. It's probably the only clunky thing about this build, I'd say. Otherwise, keeping your Virulence stacks up is very easy with Stormbrand while mapping, and even on bosses, you just pop your 2 Stormbrands down and spam a few Ball Lightnings when you can, while avoiding boss mechanics and stuff too. So it's not too bad. But yeah, you guys get the basic idea of the build. So that's that. I just wanted to give you guys the quick updates on how things are going, and I will be improving a lot more on the build and making sure that everything is nice and smooth, I guess you can say. Otherwise, If you enjoyed this update video, guys, and you aren't yet subscribed to my channel, I highly recommend that you do subscribe because I release full build guides after I do build updates just like this, whereby I go into full detail on the build. And then also don't forget to make sure that you like the video in favor of reaching more exiles. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the guide, Exile.